and I'm going to plug in the only number that I know, and that's that xt equals 39.9. So I do 39.9. But wait, from step 1, I know that xt is the same as ty. So then where ty is, I'm also going to plug in a 39.9. And that's going to equal xy. So I add these two together, and I get 60, 78, 79.8 centimeters is x, y. Okay. So again, all I'm doing is plugging in things. I like to put it step by step so that I know exactly what I do first and what I do second. And all of these steps just come from our logic and reasoning. So I'm thinking, okay, well, the first thing that I know is that T is a midpoint because of this statement that it's a bisector. Okay, then because of that, I know that these two segments are equal. Because of that, I can use the segment addition postulate and plug in my numbers, okay? All right, I'm going to pause it for a second, and then I'm moving on to a new page. Okay, so sometimes you're going to be given information with words, but other times you're just going to be given information with a diagram. So this diagram has some labels. It's PQ is the line segment, M is right here, N is down here. So MN is array, and then I've got two congruent segment markers. So these two things mean that PM is congruent to MQ. Okay, that's what those little tally marks mean. Okay, so because I know that M is the midpoint. Okay, and I know that, again, because I know from the diagram that those two things are congruent. Another thing that I know because of the diagram is that since M is the midpoint, then the ray MN is a bisector. Okay, it's a segment bisector. And notice when I label MN, it is not NM with an arrow. That's not true. It has to be MN with the arrow because this point is supposed to be the end point. And you'll notice that M is the end point. It's not the side with the arrow. So you just rearrange the order that your letters are in order to make sure that your end point is in the correct direction. Okay. All right, so I'm given some information. I know that PM equals 1 7/8 inch. I want to know, what does PQ equal? PQ equals question mark. Okay, so then I'm going to work it through the same way that I did last time. Step 1, since M is an endpoint, I know that PM is congruent to MQ. Number 2, because of the segment addition postulate, I know that PM plus MQ equals PQ. Okay, and then since PM equals 1 7/8, I write 1 7/8 plus 1 7/8 equals PQ. So PQ is going to equal 2 14/8 or 3 6/8. So 3 6/8, or if you reduce it, 3 3/4. Yay! Okay, let's do another one, and this one's going to be a you try it. All right, so I want you to take a second, you try, and try and solve this one. Okay, you should have paused that and come back after you've tried it. So a few things that I want to know is, Miss Miller, is it necessary that I write all these steps and stuff that you did? No, it's not necessary, but in geometry, we start working on proofs and we start thinking about how to prove things. So it is important that you know the steps and that you can recreate them. Okay, so step 1, I know that PM is congruent to MQ. Step 2, I know that PM plus MQ equals PQ. Step 3, 2 2/7 plus 2 2/7 equals PQ. So PQ equals 4